What it is, homeboy. She play a partner, the kid. And I'm back for part two of the top 30 episodes of King of Queens. Now, if you would like to recap the first 15 videos, just go check out the first video. We're going to go ahead and get into this, man, so I can get through it within the 15 minutes. Now, I know about the verify your account, and then you can make your videos any length you want to, basically, but I don't feel like doing all that right now, and I think for the most part I can get everything done I need to say in 15 minutes for now, even though some of my videos did run too long. But that's neither here nor there. We're gonna get into the countdown so I can get through this in 15 minutes, but I will, because it's the kid. All right, number 16 is Animal Attraction. This is a very funny Valentine's Day episode of King of Queens. Doug has to cancel his Valentine's Day plans with Carrie because him and Deacon have to deliver two penguins to the zoo for their job at IPS. And then they swerve to get off an exit, I think. And there's like some rumbling and things moving around in the back of the truck. So they go back there to check it out and end up getting locked back there with the penguins on Valentine's Day. So yeah, that's Animal Attraction number 16. Number 17 is Golden Moldy. I really like this episode. It made me laugh a whole lot. Doug and Carrie are going on vacation with those same neighbors I mentioned from the window pane episode. It's like they finally feel like they're being accepted by these neighbors who might have thought they were insane at one point previously. But anyway, they go on vacation and everything is going great in the beginning until Arthur calls with some real bad news. Arthur lives in the basement and he found like a whole lot of mold in the wall down there. And Doug is just like, don't worry about it, we'll take care of it when we get back. But Arthur goes ahead and like gets an estimate on like how much damage it's going to be and how much it's going to cost, and it's like over $12,000 or something, I believe. And so when Doug finds that out, he immediately tries to start cutting back, being extra cheap. And that's where like most of the comedy comes in. Number 18 is Steve Moscow. Like, this continues on with the mold storyline from this season of the show. Doug hires like a Russian construction crew to come and fix the mold problem. Only problem is like these Russians are really lackadaisical and putting off doing the work. They're like doing it on their own time whenever they want to. They show up when they want to. So, and this is really getting Carrie upset. She's trying to get Doug to be more assertive about the situation to get these guys to fix the house. But instead, Doug would rather just like drink with them and party with them. And be nice to him to try to convince him to do the work. And yeah, that's basically that episode. Queensborough Bridge, that's number 19. This episode mainly focuses on Arthur. Doug discovers that Arthur has a half brother, and he thinks that Arthur should be living with him instead of in their basement, taken away from Doug and Carrie's time to be a married couple by themselves, alone. So Arthur does end up moving in with his half brother. Only problem is his half brother is an asshole. He treats Arthur like crap. And Doug sees this. He knows it's not right. So, of course, Arthur ends up moving back in with Doug and Carrie. Okay, number 20 is Taste Buds. This is another very hilarious episode, which all of them are. I don't know why I keep saying that. Excuse me. Nose is trickling a little bit. All right, Taste Buds. This one is about Doug using Arthur to get whatever type of food he wants from Carrie, basically. That's what that episode is about, but still done in a very funny way. Number 21 is Secret Garden. This is a very hilarious episode. It is about Carrie and her gynecologist. She really likes her gynecologist. They have a very positive patient gynecologist relationship. So she doesn't want anything to mess with that. But the gynecologist ends up needing like yard work. So Doug's cousin Danny, who I mentioned previously from the party favor episode when Doug had to throw him a bachelor party, he's doing some landscaping work at the time or something, and he says he can hook Carrie's gynecologist's garden up, but he ends up actually fucking it up. So Carrie and Doug, Deacon, and his wife Kelly, they decide to sneak over to the gynecologist's house and try to fix Danny's mess themselves, but they just end up messing things up worse. And the classic line from that episode, Doug is looking through the gynecologist's window, and he's like, "Oh my God, he's got vaginas in jars." And Deacon is like, "I think those are peaches." Yeah, that's 21, Secret Garden. I gotta hurry up if I'm gonna get through this. 22 is Thanks Man. This is another Thanksgiving episode of King of Queens. Doug and Carrie are having all their friends over for Thanksgiving dinner, and while they're eating, or right before they're about to eat, there's a knock at the door, and it is just some strange man who has an eye patch who wants to use the phone. It's a very, very cold and windy day in Queens, and they don't let him in until like the very end. But I won't spoil it for you. If you ain't never seen that one, check that one out. It's a very funny episode. Thanks, man. Number 23 is Santa Claustrophobia. On this episode, Carrie Heffernan is out of work. She was fired from her job at a law firm. She was a secretary at a law firm. So she's looking for part-time work, and she ends up working part-time at IPS with Doug. You know, immediately Doug is like turned off by the situation. He feels like he's being crowded by Carrie. Like he already spends all the time at home with her. Now she's at work with him too. Can I relate to that? I don't know. Y'all tell me. But yeah, it's going bad until they have a little argument. Then they have some makeup sex in the back of an IPS truck. Then it's going good until some of the female workers at IPS refer to Carrie as a slut. Anyway, let's keep moving on. Number 24 on the list is Trash Talker. Another very funny episode. It actually guest stars Jon Favreau, you know, the star of the Avengers movies and many other movies. He plays Happy in the Avengers movies, you know, Tony Stark's assistant. and he actually plays Doug's uh, worst enemy in this episode. Like, he claims in middle school or something, Doug licked a trash can, but Doug claimed he was looking for his $1 million man thermos top or something. And yeah, so Doug's hated this guy ever since, and um, but he ends up running into him, and they end up going to Deacon's son's party, and just a whole bunch of crazy shit happens. Yeah, trash talker. Number 25 is Alter Ego. I don't know if I mentioned Spence yet. I don't believe I have, but he's a very good friend of Doug. He's probably Doug's second best friend next to Deacon. Um, he had a girlfriend named Denise. They were together for a long time. They were in love, but she ended up leaving him, and she's getting married in this episode. But they talked Spence into trying to disrupt the wedding and declare his love for Denise before she gets married. The wedding takes place in Memphis, so they take a road trip to Memphis, and just a whole bunch of funny, crazy, ridiculous things happen on their way to Memphis. Uh, Number 26 is Awful Bigamy. This is another very funny episode. Another character I haven't mentioned yet of this series, a main character, is Holly. She is a dog walker, but she actually walks Arthur, Doug and Carrie's father, Doug's father-in-law. She walks him too, like he's a dog, just to like wind him down and calm him down, because Arthur's so wound up and just uptight and just can just have a loud outburst at any moment. So, Doug, Holly the dog walker moves in with the Heffernans, Doug and Carrie, because she has no place to stay, and Doug uses this to his advantage, as in he sort of basically he has two wives. Holly is the downstairs wife, and Carrie is the upstairs wife, and it goes smoothly for a good little minute. You know, Doug has it made for a good little minute, but of course, all good things come to an end. So definitely check that one out. Awful Bigamy. Number 27 is Name Dropper. Name Dropper. I'm sorry. Just thinking about this one makes me laugh. Doug fakes heart attacks because he can't remember somebody's name. That's what that one is about. Uh, Number 28 is Silent Might, a Christmas episode. Very funny. Doug is at the mall. A little person hits on Carrie. You know, of course, Doug takes up for his wife. um, but Carrie thought he was kind of being a jerk about the situation. But Doug ends up getting pickpocketed. He immediately thinks it's the little person who was flirting with Carrie. Carrie doesn't think so, but I won't spoil it for you. Watch the episode. Very funny. uh, Number 29. Look, I did it. I told you I was going to make it in the 15 minutes because it's the kid, man. Number 29 is Goodnight Stalker. Very, very funny episode. It's later in the seasons of King of Queens. It's about Doug and Carrie and their friends. They go to a karaoke bar, and Doug ends up getting a stalker based on his performance, but there's a twist in it. So check that episode out. Goodnight Stalker. And the final episode of my top 30 episode of King of Queens is Poor Judgment, when Doug tries to get his Tom Cruise from Cocktail on and go to cocktail school. Very funny episode. Check out all these episodes. Check out the whole entire series of King of Queens, man. Classic sitcom, man. I'm about to go start watching the shit again because making this list made me want to go watch the shit. And some episodes that weren't on the list made me want to go watch them too. So that's what I'm gonna do, man. I'm gonna go watch some King of Queens. Y'all do that too. I'm gonna hit y'all with some more videos if this shit uh, even matters to any fucking body. But man, it's the kid, and I'm out. Under 15 minutes too.